Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us for the February 8th Town Council meeting. I'm going to start us out with the pledge. So please join me. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Next on to roll call.
Here.
Here.
Here. Next up, I would need a motion to approve the agenda.
So move.
Second,
Second.
all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Okay. Next up, the approval of the minutes from the January 11th meeting. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Now we move on to scheduled appointments. Today we have Grace Mary Brady, and I need to turn on the microphone.
And Sarah.
Am I working? Okay. Good evening, everyone, and thank you for this opportunity. Uh-oh, I have to run get another book. Hold on. Okay, hot off the press today for this week is a new book about North Beach yesterday and today. It is very concise because the beginning of the town really was down at Bay, Chesapeake, Dayton, First Street through Seventh. So it kind of encompasses that area. We have another major history book and project in process, which talks about the law enforcement, the different bills, all of the history of the town, including when they tried to build a railroad over to Rose Haven. So that's in the progress, but this will give you a nice little taste. We did it by address. Vincent Turner, who's listed on here as an author, has been at the museum for 11 years. He's getting his master's degree in historic preservation at the University of Maryland. And he has spent 3 years in between going to school doing deed research. He started with the original land grants of this area and brought it up to the 60s and 70s. So it's an ongoing process. In the back, you'll see cottage tidbits, which I think is going to be really fun. We have 250 names of cottages. It was when you moved here and Calvert Hotel was the place of business for people to come to and buy a lot and build in North Beach. Pines and Holly named their business, and after that, every single cottage had a name. So to make it fun, a person's going to look in the back and they're going to see their address and say, that's my house. That's what I used to be called. So this is a little bit different approach to a book because it really is for people who are not from here, and it's done by address. So that's why it took a while to do this, because of the deed research. So we're here to gift you a book tonight, and you all had to get the first. And if you have any questions, let us know. And please send any of your friends to the museum to buy a book, because this is our fundraiser, and it's $25 for 100 pages of full color.
Still have any more of your ornaments left?
Oh, yes.
You do?
Yes.
Okay.
And I just have a question. Is there a digital version too, or is it all
No,
paper?
because we had to copyright the photos. There's
Okay.
a lot of problems when
Thank you.
you have photos and people
Thank
take
you.
them and claim that they're theirs.
Oh,
and
okay.
put 'em on
Yeah, yeah.
Facebook. So these photos, because of the
Yeah.
it's a big collection and it's a lot of work.
Wow.
So
Thank you.
anyway, don't hesitate to call if you have a question.
This is-
And
thank you
this
we're
is-
having the end of this month,
Mhm.
Vincent and I will be here to do it and sell books, and then this
Oh,
to
for
talk
the-
about all the elephants
Yeah.
that used to be.
Thank you.
You're very welcome.
Thank you very much. Next, we'll go to the sergeant for the public safety report.
Evening, everyone. So this last month in January, our deputies had 100 calls for service in North Beach. This was up just by 4 calls from December. Just a reference from last year in January, there was only 71 calls for service for North Beach compared to the 100. Some of those calls, besides the ones that were self-initiated, we did have a couple violations of protective orders. Some of them were the same resident that we went to multiple times. Both the male and female did get arrested. Other than that, nothing serious to note on anything that did happen in North Beach.
Awesome. Thank you very much.
You guys have any questions?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next, we'll move on to reports. We'll start with Rick. Rick is not here, so his reports and board docs. If you have any questions, just shoot them out to Rick and he'll get back to us. Next up, Dawn.
Hi. I'll keep it short and sweet. Wanted to mention that our famous boardwalk was on the Visit Maryland in their newsletter and on their Instagram page on January 31st, and it was very popular. It received 1,178 likes, and you'll see the photo in my report there. Another exciting thing, Ladies of Charity got their check for the net proceeds of the Polar Bear Plunge, and they were very excited about that. That will help with their efforts. And I was surprised when I was there taking the photos. The lady said that they fed 477 families just in January of this year. So it's pretty awesome what they do. Other than that, I'm still working on the state of the town presentation, and hopefully we'll be seeing that at our meeting next month. Any questions?
Thank you very much.
Actually, do you want to give us any previews on any of these 2024 events? Anything new?
I don't think we have none of our
Okay. just wondering.
nothing new for our events, but I do have a secret, but I can't tell right now.
Oh. Okay.
It wouldn't be.
I'll tell you next month.
Next month. All right.
Yep.
Thank
It's
you.
exciting.
Cool. Thanks. Thanks, Dawn.
Move on to the town treasurer. Joanne's not here, so if you have any questions on that report, just shoot her an email and she'll get back to us. We don't have anything from the waterfront. So I move on to public comment.
Oh.
Oh, I'm sorry, Donnie, I skipped you.
Thanks.
Donnie?
Right.
He almost got away.
Damn, I
with it.
should
Yeah,
have
you
showed
almost
up.
got out of it.
Should have stayed home too. Good evening, everybody. I'd like to talk about, because thank you all again, because we signed that contract with the contractor for the camera, the sewer line. And so far, we've been working on it for 3 weeks now. And we've got 3/4 of the town done already. Really interesting. It sounds kind of gross or kind of weird, but to be interested about that. But he's got a really good camera and he's getting some really good shots, and we've been running the whole lines. And what they're doing, he's getting about 1,600 feet a day, but he's cameraing it. And then he has a system. They have a software system that they log the information into, and it gives you codes, and it ranks it from a 1 to a 4. So you have a red, orange, green, and yellow categories. And when we get our report back, red, of course, needs attention right away. And it goes on orange, yellow, and then green or whatever. So we'll get a full report of what he did. Right now, we've got a issue on 4th Street. This is the worst one, where the camera goes completely underwater, stays underwater for about 50 feet and comes back up. That's a belly. We get a lot of debris, a lot of grease, a lot of clogging there. We had to jet that line about 4 times in the past month, but you can see everything very clearly on the camera. Even though the system was put in the 60s, probably 60% of the clay pipe actually looks pretty good. It's still in pretty good shape. 5th Street was probably had the most horizontal, like the pipe, you could tell was, getting older. And I guess that's from the traffic, because 5th Street's probably the heaviest traffic in town. So that pipe, to me, would be like a red or an orange, but we are getting prices ahead of time, because Joanne's getting our budget stuff ready to reline that pipe from like manhole to manhole. You can actually have a company come in, put a liner in. So that's looking at the camera and talking to the guy, and this is what he does every day. That pipe there is a good candidate for like a relining type project. So hopefully in the next 2 weeks, I think we'll be finished with the whole town, San Francisco and Burn Oaks too. And then we'll get a complete list together. So by next meeting, and this will really help us prioritize and get a budget together for making these repairs. We've only had a couple sections that we couldn't get the camera through. What we're doing, we're keeping a running list. We're going to go back. We're going to spend next Monday and Tuesday cleaning those, jetting them while the truck's still here. And we'll have him, what he does, he goes in the manhole, he runs as far as he can go. And if he hits something and he can't go through, he doesn't waste time. You know, we pull out of there, move to a new location, then we can come back, jet that area, and then he can hit like maybe 10 of those once we get them clean that he couldn't get to. So we'll have a video of everything. So, but that companies, they've been doing a real good job. They've been real thorough and real good communication. So far, I'm real pleased with what they're doing.
Yeah, I've seen him out most days when I go to work, so.
Yeah, they're working like Monday to Thursday, and then Friday he goes and takes what he gives me a zip drive every week. So then he puts his notes in, does, fine tunes, and he's also keeping a paper note of hotspots that we need to hit like right away. So we give him a paper copy of trouble spots and then a zip drive, and he'll have a full report with all the zip drives, all 4 or 5 weeks, whatever it takes, and all the codes and the whole to give to us at the end there. So.
I happened to hop in that truck.
Oh, you
when
did, right,
Donnie
yeah.
was there and just watch this guy do a little bit of this scoping, and it's amazing how clear it is, and just the smallest crack that he can see with that camera.
Wow.
It's really, if you see the truck and want to hop in there, they'll give you a little tour, but it's really impressive. So what's the most prevalent type of issue he's found so far?
We found a couple where we have the bellies, like it looks like where they had a new house, maybe you come in here, cut the pipe, and then they put a new section, but then that's settled or whatever, so you'll get a lip on both ends. So that's one thing. At the manholes, there's been some manholes where the pipe comes in from the line that's not sealed around what they call the boot of the manhole. So you got water running in around the boot. You got a couple, like I say, some horizontal cracks are like hairline in some of the pipes, but Fifth Street, it's actually about big as a pencil lead. So that's a candidate where it could crack and then start seeping in there. We ran a section yesterday up on Erie, and that one had a lot of silt in it. So what that means is it is actually silt coming through the cracks along the run. It was from like Second heading towards First Street, and that was the worst section that we saw as far as like silt actually laying in the pipe. So that means somewhere the silt's actually getting through that crack. We had a couple, not many, but had 1 or 2 spots where water was, you could see like running in there, like a slow faucet maybe, running in. So
Okay.
surprising, like say 70% of the pipe for the age of it looks in pretty good shape.
I might be getting ahead of everything, but when you do the liner in, what's that made of and how long does it last?
It's kind of like an epoxy type material. And if you can just think like they pull a sleeve, like a balloon almost, they run it like we call our jetter, like we'll block it off at each manhole. You have to pump around that section for like a 10-hour period. They put the sleeve in one end, they pull it all the way down to the other end, and they actually inflate it. So they fill it up with air, it inflates, and they put heat in there to cure it. So it's like about an 1/8 inch thick layer that'll go right up against it, which is right out against the pipe. And it seals it just like if you put a straw, if you were able to stick a straw kind of in there. And it's then I think, I forget the warranty, if it's like 50-year warranty or whatever.
When they fix the flat?
Yeah, but it's, it goes to the shape of the pipe.
Right.
You have a thing that runs through there.
Right.
So you don't lose. And the good thing about that, you don't have to tear the street up. You don't have to do all the digging. You don't have to do that. But then also the layer is strong, but it's not so thin that you don't really lose much of the pipe diameter. Like they used to run, another pipe inside and all
Right.
back then, but this is pretty thin, but it's so strong you could drive it with a dump truck once it gets cured.
Pretty good.
I don't want to quote the wrong
quote
thing, but
that, but
yeah,
yeah.
but I know it's a pretty good
Like I
warranty.
said, I didn't want to
Yeah.
get ahead of it, but
Nah,
just curious.
And then the good thing also about that is you can put the line back in service that same day. So with the heat they put on it, you don't have to like have pumps and hoses out overnight or whatever. You can pull the plugs, open it back up, and put that right back in service within, probably like an 8-hour period. He usually like do a manhole to manhole, do a 350-foot run, then he'll jump on, do another 350-foot run. So, and what I'm getting a linear foot price from him now. So we can have, better information. Then that way we can pick and choose like, manhole to manhole is roughly 350 linear feet. So I'm getting a price so we know how much it would cost to do. We can pick, then by that priority list, we can do red, orange, whatever.
Right,
Say if we want to spend $100,000, we know how many feet we can cover with that.
right, exactly. And you're not tearing up the road.
Right.
People aren't out of service,
Right.
there's.
They basically set up, like Lauren was there and she happened to walk out when we were doing it, but the truck that has the camera in it is almost the same size of the truck that'd be sitting there to do that type work. So, you'd have a couple cones, a manhole off, you'd have a little bit of, traffic control right around that area, but that would be it for that whole run. So that's invasive for sure.
Like a day's work.
Yeah, they could probably at least do, maybe 2 runs in a day, at least 1 for sure. We'd run it down. You'd clean the pipe as good as you can clean it. And also with that liner, they clean it and put like a compound on there that makes that stick better. So they'll clean it, once they block off the flow, they'll do a thorough cleaning and then they'll put this adhesive like it's accelerator that makes that stick better when they put the lining in.
There's tons of YouTube videos.
Yeah, it's
Exciting
pretty,
stuff.
it was, that picture is like, it's like a camera you'd see on a
Right.
LED screen TV. It's
Yep.
like really good picture on there. So you can see every little detail in there. It's kind of cool to see that. That, defined. The old days, you'd see it be all cloudy and everything else, but now they've got them toned in where you can see every little crack and everything going on.
I have a question.
Yes, sir.
Is there any parts that are just need to be flat out replaced?
The section that I was talking about on 4th Street there, we probably will have to dig that up. It's probably like 100 feet maybe or less, but that's so much of a belly in it that you can't really do anything with that. So the only way you have to go in where the pipe is good at, try to pinpoint, and then dig down there and then take that section and just lay a whole new section there.
It'd just sort of just sink just
It's
over
like a-
time?
It's like, just like a horse, like,
So
I
it's
thought it
settled
might
or
be where that
something?
big storm drain pipe goes across right up from Grace Mary's Museum, but it's a little east of there. It's not actually from that. Or, not enough gravel in there, poor ground there. It's like, and it on,
And
that
it
was the
just-
old marsh back in the day. It was where the wetlands used to be at, so. Now, when they build a line, usually what we do is we'll take 2 12, not to drag it out or make it, you'll take a 2x12, lay them down, lengthways, flat. And then you make like a train track and you put gravel
way
in there
it
and
won't
you lay
go
the
down.
pipe on top of that. So the weight's all spread out. So that helps it from settling. But when you get in a marsh mucky area like that, it's, if a pipe's just laying there by itself,
It's gonna,
yeah.
I think, oh, thank you.
Any other questions?
No.
Thank you, Donnie.
Yep.
Next up, we'll move to public comment. If you're on Zoom, if you have any public comment, please put it into the box, type your name and address for the record. And then if you have public comment, please, microphone. We'll give Zoom a minute or two.
Hi, I'm Cece Richardson. I live in Burn Oaks. I'm here. I come here yearly, and this year, again, we're asking you guys if you want to come to our meet and greet that we will be having on the 23rd of February, which means, Mickey, you don't have to do our Zoom for us for our meeting. And we are bringing the Colossal Donuts, so you will be there, right?
Of course, donut.
Okay. I'm gonna give you. I know you'll come. You like my coffee.
We'll take some. if
But,
you-
you guys are welcome to come and hang out. I can't guarantee there's a lot. I mean, people come. Last year it was the town and 5 people came and all 5 people won prizes. So we're having prizes again this year too. So if you come, you drop your name in and, okay?
I think it's at 6.
6, it's at 6? Okay.
To 8, okay, yeah. Thank you.
Guess Mike gets no donut. Because I ain't telling you.
Thank you.
Any comment from Zoom? Okay. All right, we have no business items, no ordinances. The mayor's out of town. Now we get to do council reports. We'll start down there with you, Greg, if you like.
Thank you everyone for coming out. I'll just say this. I'm disappointed we're not moving forward from the meeting that we had last week, not getting information. I hope that's gonna come this week. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, everybody, for coming out. The water's been up high past couple of days. I know you had, what was the number? The third highest? What? Third highest? Yeah. But I still notice just coming up from from Chesapeake Beach over here. It stays high for a long period of time. Is that now I wonder if that's gonna be now our new normal.
I hope not.
I hope not too.
Scary.
It is. It's very scary. So I just want to tell everyone, if you see standing water, don't drive through it. Go back the other way, go around Fifth Street, come back the other way before you try to go on 260 coming here. So that's all I have, and thanks for coming.
Thanks everyone for showing up, and I don't have much to report. Oh, my report is on board docs, or it will be soon, but there was no flood committee meeting this month yet. Our meeting is on February 13th at 3 o'clock. And I'm just continuing to work with the town's grant writer on some grant stuff. And that's pretty much it for this month. That, turn it over to you, Mary.
Thank you. Thanks everybody for coming. I really don't have much either. I do want to thank Public Works for all their hard work, checking out these lines and working with this whole audit. And I also want to thank them for the snow cleanup. Good job. And great job. And I tried to follow what you told us to do about the parking and, staying off the road. But anyway, good job on that. And I also want to thank Grace for this book. I look forward to looking through it and seeing if my cottage is in there and if it had a name, or that's kind of exciting. I knew somebody actually mentioned this to me before. They were like, we should have like a cottage naming contest, because there's a couple people that already have their cottages named in town. And so we were just joking around with names back and forth, but it was actually, I'm excited about that. See what all these names were.
Thank everybody for joining us on Zoom and here tonight. Thank you very much for coming out. With that, my next thing would just be this Sunday, the 11th, and then Sunday, the 25th. The museum is having talks. They'll be here. They start promptly at 1, because Grace Mary is very good in that timekeeping. This one is the Elephant Talk. And then the 25th is most likely going over this book. Other than that, thank you. Can I entertain a motion to close?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Meeting closed. Thank you all. I like running work sessions because I make us sit up there.
Found it.
Yo.
Okay.